As always, it is so great to have you here. I hope you're enjoying your holiday, spending time with your family and loved ones, and staying safe at the same time. Anyways, today we've got a great recipe. We're making another classic Spanish dish. We are talking fideos con verduras. This is basically a Spanish pasta with vegetables, and let me tell you, it's got so many great flavors, like seriously, a huge bunch of Spanish goodness. It's very easy to make, comes together in about 35 minutes, and it's all done using just one pan. This is one of the best pasta dishes that hail from Spain, and with one taste, it might possibly be one of the best pasta dishes you will ever taste. So we're just gonna dive right into this recipe. I'm gonna grab a paella pan. The size of this one is 11 inches in diameter. Heat it with a medium-high heat, and add in 1/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil. Now to make this dish, you don't need to use a paella pan. This is just what I'm using. You can totally use a standard frying pan. While the oil is heating up, I'm gonna measure out 2 cups of Spanish fideos. As you can see, these are small thin noodles. If you can't find these in your supermarket, you'll most likely find them at a Hispanic supermarket, or you can use any other type of small thin noodle. After heating the olive oil for about 90 seconds, you don't want to heat it too much, otherwise it's going to lose its flavor. I'm going to add in the 2 cups of fideos and start mixing them around with that olive oil. The secret, make sure you mix this continuously, that way the fideos don't burn and they all fry evenly. After 2.5 to 3 minutes, and all the fideos have a brown fried color to them, they are ready to go. This is what gives this Spanish pasta dish that incredible texture and flavor, but be careful not to burn your noodles and blacken them, otherwise it's going to give this dish a bitter flavor. I'm going to start removing the fideos from the pan, making sure to shake off any of the excess olive oil. Now using the same pan with the same heat, I'm going to add in half of an onion that I roughly chopped, 4 cloves of garlic that I thinly sliced, half of a red bell pepper that I cut into big chunks, and half of a green bell pepper that I cut into big chunks as well. And start mixing all these vegetables around with that olive oil. The secret, make sure you mix this continuously, that way nothing burns and everything cooks evenly. And as you can see, I cut all these vegetables into big chunks. Why? It's what gives this Spanish pasta dish that incredible texture. About 5 to 6 minutes after adding the vegetables into the pan, those onions are nice and translucent and the bell peppers are developing a light golden fried color. You don't want to overcook them. I'm going to add in 1 tomato that I finely grated, 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of saffron threads, and season generously with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And continue to mix all these ingredients together. Now the saffron I'm using to make these Spanish fideos is once again from Golden Saffron. Like I always tell you, this is one of my personal favorite saffrons. Incredible flavor, super high quality. Link where you can get some in the description box below. About 2 minutes after adding the grated tomato into the pan, you can see it's integrated into the rest of the vegetables. I'm going to add in our fried fideos back into the pan. We'll give this a quick mix, that way all these ingredients are evenly mixed together. And we'll add in a generous 2.5 cups of cold water. We'll lightly season the water with a little sea salt. And we'll give this one final mix, that way all the ingredients are evenly distributed. After this step, you don't want to mix the fideos again, otherwise they're going to lose their beautiful texture. And we're going to simmer this on a medium-high heat between 6 to 8 minutes. After about 8 minutes, and you can see a lot of that water has been incorporated into the fideos, I'm going to lower the fire from a medium-high heat to a low-medium heat. And we're going to simmer this for another 3 to 5 minutes or until all that water has been incorporated into the fideos. Once there's virtually no broth left in the pan and it's all been incorporated into those fideos, I'm gonna hit this back to a medium-high heat and go for about 60 seconds. This is just to burn off any of the excess water in the bottom. Then we'll remove the paella pan from the heat and cover it with some foil paper and a dishcloth, and we're gonna let this sit here for a couple minutes. This is just gonna help finish cooking up all that beautiful pasta. After a couple minutes, I'm gonna uncover the pan and check it out. Our Spanish fideos with vegetables are done. Such a beautiful dish, typically served as a side dish next to a protein, but you can totally serve this as a main course next to a salad for an incredible meal. Either way you go, the aromas coming out of this pan are mind-blowing good. Let's give it a try and see how it tastes. I'm telling you, these Spanish fideos are off the hook. Grab a little bit of everything here. Here we go. First things first, before we get to how good it is the texture of those noodles. By frying them first in that olive oil, it gets them such an incredible texture and flavor, combined with the rest of the vegetables, the spices and the seasonings. It's an explosion of goodness. You saw this. Very easy to make. Comes together in just 35 minutes, and it's done with just one pan. Make it at home like I told you earlier, possibly one of the best pasta dishes you will ever taste. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Martin Giddings and Karsten Korn. Guys, thank you so much for becoming patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you're not with me on Patreon, consider becoming one. It helps with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this. You'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.